My name is Daymon Britton. I'm a 30-something family man from Newcastle upon Tyne. Statistics show that I can have a midlife crisis in just 4 years. So what if I buy a sports car and walk out of my family? These things happen to so many men out there. One minute you're in that loving relationship, the next you're cooking a microwave meal for one. So what causes this crisis?
I think it's an internal dissatisfaction, really. It's it's all to do with quality of life and whether you think you've achieved what you might have been able to when you were younger.
Maybe a feeling that you've missed out on things in life, and things that you should have done when you're young, and maybe you can't do them now.
Probably it's just getting that little bit older and creakier and wondering what you've done with your life, I guess.
Things you haven't done, you say? Bring on the bucket list. For the past 4 months, I've been spreading the word of this bucket list and encouraging men to vote on what they think the top 10 things really are. Over the next 7 days, I plan to do them. I'm cutting myself off from my family in order to get to the bottom of this global dilemma. So what will life be like without them? Will I lose everything as a result of my actions? And will this be the cure of the male midlife crisis? It's time to find out. First up in search for the cure of the midlife crisis is task number 1, as voted for by the male British public: driving a supercar. The car of choice is the Ferrari F430, and this little beauty is in Formula 1 red.
I'm telling you one thing, if I was going through a midlife crisis, boy, this would be the cure for it. This is what the week's all about. This is where it starts. Oh yes. Woo-hoo-hoo!
So just tight.
After Britain saw its heaviest fall of snow in years, what was meant to be a dry slope ski lesson turned into a foot of pure white snow. Now, if you're looking for a way to switch off, skiing could be the thing for you. It's not a bad way to spend an afternoon. I had no time to relax after that, as Hardrow Force in North Yorkshire was waiting, surrounded by 3 foot of snow, to help me achieve task number 3. Now, I wasn't expecting much from showering in a waterfall, but I must admit, I felt enlightened and alive and very, very cold. And it doesn't get much warmer out in the North Sea. With odds stacked against me, I was determined to catch a fish in order to complete the task. With nothing biting, I turned to fellow angler Dennis Miller to get his views on the male midlife crisis. Do you know anything about the midlife crisis?
Well, I mean, when I was about 50, life passes you by a little bit, and change of image. So I went out, bought a fast car, shaved my head, got a tattoo, and had my ear pierced.
So, with my bait and tackle still intact, we headed back to shore. Not wanting to go hungry, I had a little something up my sleeve. Well, a little something in a bucket. Thanks to the amber trawlerman at the Islington Villa Hotel, head chef Andy Moore prepared the day's catch in first-class style. After dinner, I sat down with the crew to sum up the morning's task and to kill a bit of time until that evening's challenge.
Let's get you naked again.
Let's do it. Let's get naked. Not now, we'll do it at the beach.
The roar of the ocean. The fear in my heart. Oh, who am I kidding? It's bloody Tynemouth. I don't know what the men of Britain expected me to gain from this. My only advice would be, don't try this in February.
God.
Good morning. Today's task is to get a hole-in-one. What? You didn't expect me to do it in a full-size course, did you? I've only got one day. Come on, then. Mark Twain once said, "Golf is a good walk spoiled." Luckily for me, at least I didn't have to walk very far.
Oh, hit the ground, man! Come on. OK, we're losing the light. We're on the final hole. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the hole-in-one. Get in there! Right! Let's go and sleep under the stars.
The week had become an endurance test, and as the temperatures dropped, I started thinking about how much I was missing my family, and also worrying about what was waiting for me before I get to see them again. Chillingham Castle in Northumberland is one of the most haunted places in the UK. As I walked around the castle, I became very nervous at the moment the crew would say goodbye and good night.
So we've just had a tour around Chillingham Castle. The room behind me is the chapel. To me it is the eeriest, and it's the room that I've chosen to stay in for the night. So I've got my lamp, got my camera, and I'm going in alone, so I'll see you in the morning.
Again, I've just heard something in here. It's probably the fact that it is in a very old building. But it was just in the room next door, which is the big, well, you saw it, the big kind of dining room. Just heard knocking from inside that room. But again, couldn't. And I wish the crew wouldn't keep doing that with the radio because it's really, really starting to freak me out. After a sleepless night and a 3-hour drive, I arrived at the airfield where I would face what I feared more than anything else.
Forward, push it back, push it forward.
Seize the day.
As the plane taxied down the runway, I saw my family arrive. It seemed so long since we'd hugged and said goodbye. So much had happened, and they knew nothing about what I'd gone through, what I'd achieved. As you fall 14,000 feet at 150 miles per hour, not much apart from the wind goes through your mind. But what did was that if this parachute opens and I land safely, I'll be holding my family in less than 5 minutes. I couldn't wait to tell them all about my week. Had I found the one cure for the global male midlife crisis? Well, there isn't one thing that'll stop you questioning where you are in your life. Had I combated against my own? For me, it's not about what you do. It's having someone waiting for you at the end of it. My single 7 days have shown me that the grass isn't always greener, that no man's an island, and that what John Lennon said was right. All you need is love.
Tell you what I'm looking forward to. Reading Winnie the Witch.
And for those of you counting, here's number 10.